Hey, what's up, man? My name is Isaac, and I'm making this video to teach you how to stay sane as a student. Cause a lot of students are struggling with a lot of mental health issues, problems like exam anxiety, depression, and so on and so forth. And so I actually brainstormed for a bit, on what allowed me personally to actually not be that stressed at all by exams and by just the school environment in general, the routine and stuff like that. And because I've been dealing with it. Dealing it is not even like the right word, cause like I'm managing it pretty well. I'm still sleeping like 8 hours a day. I'm still all right. Okay, I'm still like relatively stable and happy and enjoying my life. So I'm gonna teach you about like what I think are the most important things that I did to not be like consumed by anxiety or stress about academics. So I mean like the things are kind of already here. I basically already spoiled the um entire video, but I'm just gonna talk about them anyway. Hopefully you haven't clicked off by now. If you have, you wouldn't be hearing this. But anyway, so first of all, you should. I strongly recommend this, by the way. Have something going for you other than your academics, cause like so many students in Singapore, in a lot of different countries, they like their whole life revolves around their academics, right? I'm drawing with a mouse, and this is actually really dangerous, cause so their life, as I was saying, like their life revolves all around their academics, cause they've been like conditioned to think that it's a very, of course it's a very important thing in life, but they I feel, personally, that most people sort of over, how do I say this, over like they put way too much effort into their academics, I feel, personally. And the danger of doing this, of basically spending all your energy, time and effort and on your academics, basically having your academics being the only thing that gives you any form of self-worth, like if the success of your entire life, in your personal opinion, depends on the success of your academics, you're gonna be in a very dangerous place. Okay, like if your entire self-worth, if your entire self yeah, self-worth is the right word, hinges on your academics. So like imagine like this block right here is like, let's say your self-worth. We could also say it's like your sanity, because honestly, like a important part of being sane is doing something, like being in the flow state, being in the moment, being in the zone. That helps to keep this thing called the mind quiet, and um in that sense it gives, not just in that sense, but it does give us a lot of our stability, right? The flow state is very important. So if you have nothing going for you other than your, god damn it, other than your academics, that means like your entire self-worth and your sanity, your mental health is like a block that's standing on like this one thing, and this one thing would be your academics, of course. Acads. And so it's very unstable, right? It's very wobbly, as expressed by these curves that I'm drawing. And so if you were to fail, like your exam, okay, if you were to not just fail, honestly, just get any grade that you think isn't that good, like not up to your expectation or your expectations or the expectations of whoever, like your parents or your teachers or whoever you respect, then this thing kind of like breaks and this thing comes crashing down, which sucks and it's not a good thing to experience. And because your kind of brain kind of knows that your entire self-worth hinges on your academics, that's why you get so stressed. Okay, that's where stress comes from, because I theorize that's where stress comes from, because you know that your entire freaking like your self-worth, right, your self-respect, all comes from, it's just hinging on this one thing that is your grades. And so that's a very very dangerous thing to have. And so what we would want to do if you want to get less stress about academics is to have something else going for you, something else that you're good at, or at least you're putting a significant amount of effort into. And you know, you could, and then you'll basically add more blocks to this thing. So you know, it could be like a hobby, you know, it could be drawing, it could be recording YouTube videos, it could be I don't know, it could be whatever. It could be spending time with your friends. But preferably something that's progressive, kind of like academics itself. Something that you can get like better at. Something that gives you a level of um I'm doing this, therefore I am better than those who are not doing it. Not in like an egotistical sense, but like, you know, something that gives you self-worth, right? Like, for example, like doing YouTube, like this does like feed my ego quite a lot. And so if I spend a lot of my time on this, I have YouTube going for me, I have something else going for me that is not my academics. But if I were to like spend instead spend that time on video games, you know, it's not something that's gonna make me think, wow, I'm so cool, I'm so like worthy of love or whatever, or status or whatever. And so that's not really gonna help. I'm still gonna be stressed about academics. um so yeah, so like sort of like productive habit, right, or hobby or passion. I like the word passion. Okay, productive passion. Okay, and I believe everyone has a passion, and if you don't know your passion, you just have to like try new shit, bro. Like, it's a big freaking world out there, man. Stop like staying inside and studying all day, or playing video games, or scrolling on social media all day. Like, go outside and try something. Or you could stay indoors, and indoors you can still try a lot of things. You can record YouTube videos, or start a business, or uh start a blog, or start like trying to draw art, learning to draw art. Like, a lot of, I know people who do that. It's really really cool. And so yeah, things like this, you know, could be art, could be an instrument, could be sports, could be a martial art. Martial art's pretty fun, by the way, if you're a boy. And yeah, so if you, oh my god, I have to control Z all of this. Sorry, give me 1 second. If you do all of that, okay, 1 second. If you start working on things in your life, wait, I don't want to erase that. If you start working on things in your life that is not academics, you'll build up more pillars, okay? Let's say this one is like YouTube or whatever. And so you start like building up more pillars, and your self-worth and your sanity will be more stable, it will be less wobbly. Can remove the wobbly lines here, okay? And naturally you become a lot less stressed about your academics, right? Because now your entire self-worth is not just hinged on your academics, so you might not feel as much as an, an impending doom if you were to have if there were to be a possibility that you fail your exams. So yeah, this I personally find this like really important for me, and it's like every time an exam rolls around and everyone's like, oh, I'm freaking I'm gonna die, I'm so cooked and whatnot over this and that, and like I'm just kind of chilling. Like honestly, my grades right now, they're not that good, but I'm chilling and I get around the same grades as them. I'm not too sure. I don't really look. And it's been really really helpful because I have this other pillar that is, you know, YouTube. But there's also a danger to using this strategy because the thing is that doing more things at once, working on more things in your life, does mean that your energy is more stretched, right? You know, essentialism, right? Your energy is limited, and if you put it into too many things, you won't go that far. As compared if you just put it into one thing, you go very very far. So what personally the personal advice I would give, which is sorry, what advice I would give personally, which is basically the thing that I'm doing, is you can work on academics and like one other thing. Okay, you just need one other thing. You really just need one other thing to keep your self-worth pretty stable. Like two blocks is infinitely more stable than, not infinitely, but a lot more stable than just one, you know, cause like physics and stuff. So you just need one other thing. Okay, can be whatever you're passionate about. Make sure you're passionate about it, by the way. Cause, and honestly, there's nothing wrong, by the way, there's nothing wrong with your entire self-worth and your sanity and your entire like the only thing you have going for you being like one thing. That's completely fine. Like if you want this to be how your life is like sometime in the future, that's completely fine. I just personally feel academics of all things should not be that one thing that your self-worth hinges on, because first of all, you probably don't even like academics, right? It's not something you're passionate about. If your self-worth hinges on something you're passionate about, like fair enough, that's how it's supposed to be. But if it just hinges on academics, you don't even you hate doing it, you hate studying. It's like what's the point? And of course it's gonna be even more unstable because you don't really like working on it anyway. Okay, so you're just torturing yourself, right? Alright, let me erase all this. I'm gonna go to the next point. And that is like this is about being grounded. Okay, damn it. I love Microsoft Whiteboard. Okay, so this is about being grounded and not being in your head all the time. So I think I made a video, like my previous video was about this, where basically I talked about the mind and how it's actually quite dangerous to be like staying in your mind. Okay, and staying in your mind, being like constantly ruminating, thinking about something, thinking about the past, thinking about the future, or like daydreaming about uh whatever. It's very very unhealthy to be in there for long periods of time. Of course it's needed, it's necessary, and it's also impossible to get rid of your mind and to stop your mind from thinking. It is also necessary and it's needed for like logical reasoning, for you to like come up with solutions to problems. But sometimes if you get too caught up in this thing, right, it's like it forms a lot of like loops, and it sucks. Okay, it just sucks, and it does not feel good, right? And like those are some patterns that I've noticed, not really noticed, but like I've read about that occurs in like people with depression, anxiety, whatever, where basically just their mind just they're stuck in their mind. Okay, you you cannot be. It is impossible to have like honestly, I think, in my opinion, but I'm not a psychiatrist or anything, but I think it's quite difficult to have mental health problems if you are not in your mind, right? So your mind, like, constantly planning for the future, thinking about what just happened, analyzing what does what just happened, like having a conversation, and after that analyzing, oh, how did I do? How does that person think of me? And then, like, the slippery slope fallacy of, like, oh shit, he said this thing, that means he thinks this about me, and he's trying to do this to me, and he's blah 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 blah, blah, and it's just quite unhealthy, and it's quite unhealthy, yeah. And but not only is it unhealthy, cause, like, what does the word unhealthy even mean anyway? But it's also cause it's just not true. Like, most 99% of the things, no offense, generated by this thing, and this is true for me as well, this is true for, like, basically most of the world. 99% of the things generated by your mind, of those, the stories, the like hypotheses, the imaginations, not imaginations, like the stories, like this, you create stories in your mind. You try to create explanations for why someone did that to you, or did that to another person, or why you did that to someone else, and said this, or whatever, and 99 of the 99% of the time, those explanations and those stories are, like, completely off and wrong, and you only realize it, like, 1 month later, or like 1 year later, and or maybe even never, right? So it helps, okay, to get away from your head, stop being in your head every so often. And there's a lot of ways to do this, right? You can do meditation. Meditation is a really good way. So you just basically sit down and try to focus on your breath. I say try to, because one part of meditation is actually losing focus on your breath, not purposefully, but it naturally happens, and that's actually part of the meditation. And because people think that when they get distracted during a meditation, that means they're not meditating anymore, but that's not true. Like, the getting distracted is natural, completely normal, and part of the meditation, right? It's like training for your attention span. So you can sit down for like 5-10 minutes every day, and, like, meditate, focus on your breath, like, try to notice every detail of the breath entering or exiting your nose. Or you could, like, focus on literally anything else, right? You can focus on the sounds around you, anything that's happening in the present moment. Focus on that, okay? And number two is, well, like I just said, focusing on the present moment. So the present moment, right? The now, the current moment, is like the sort of antithesis to your mind. Your mind is always thinking about um the things that happened in the past, or things that will happen in the future, or, like, it will just also, like, daydream and think about things that are just not real at all. And so the antithesis to that is the present moment, which is real, and also in the now. You get what I mean? So, like, like the stuff you focus on in meditation, like your breath, you can just do it, like, you don't just have to focus on your breath during meditation, like, whenever you're free, or whenever you're, like, waiting for something, and you're, like, not really doing anything right now, like, focus on the breath, focus on your sensations in your body, focus on, like, the surroundings, the sounds, the sights, the smells, even, and just focus on anything that's in the now and that is real, okay? So that it's like the antithesis to your mind, which thinks about anything but the present, and also thinks about things that are not real. Very, very, very funny how the human mind works. And so this will basically ground you in the present moment. Really, really helps to get rid of those negative thought loops that are, like I said, illogical 99% of the time. And yeah, it basically helps you get away from your mind that can be dangerous if you stay in there for too long. And it also helps you like just be grounded, like with like reality, right? Because the present moment, okay, the present moment, the real and the now is the closest thing you will have to objective reality, um as a person, right? Your experiences, the moment, the now. Your mind can be inaccurate, but this can't be that wrong. Okay, like admittedly sometimes your perception, your worldview, even if it's in the present moment, can be wrong because like we only see 99% of light and like only hear 99% of sound, and like people used to think that the earth is flat cause it looks flat. You get what I mean. But this is like the closest thing. This is a lot closer to objective reality, is a lot closer to what is actually true than what goes on in your mind most of the time. Your mind can like be chaotic and come up with like situations, stories, and explanations that are like harmful and toxic, and like say that and jump to conclusions like this guy is trying to hurt me or whatever, or I am a bad person or whatever. And you just have to step away from that because like it's not true. For the third time, most of the things the mind comes up with is just wrong. It's just straight out wrong. Okay. And being in the present moment is the closest thing you have to what is not wrong. And so I guess that's like the meaning of grounding in reality and what is definitely or mostly true. Okay, more true than whatever this freaking dude comes up with anyway, like this dude being the mind. And so yeah, that helps a lot. And the third, I hope like none of my pictures are being blocked by, oh no, oh shit, wait. I'm scared that like half of my the stuff I drew were like blocked by my face cam. That would suck, but I wouldn't know until I stopped the recording. But anyway, the third thing that honestly I'm still working with on right now is to have like true friends. Alright, so what is a true friend? Personally, I'm gonna be really honest. I am not that social of a person anymore. And shit. And I'm not sure if I can confidently say that I do have like a friend that I can actually really 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 relate to. That's why I think a true friend is like someone you can you're really really close with them, right? You can really really relate to them. They're going through like the same shit as you can be 100% authentic, transparent to them. You don't have to put on like a face, right? You don't have to pretend you're someone else, like at all, to be around them. When you're around someone and you feel that sense of, oh, I have to act in this certain way, then they are probably not a true friend, or not yet a true friend. And I theorized that the only way you make a true friend is just being authentic, as if everyone is your true friend, as much as possible. It's very very difficult, right? If you have like skeletons in the closet, I don't know why I'm trying to draw. Just I suck at drawing. What the hell? If you have like skeletons in the closet, like I don't know, a porn addiction, which I used to have, or like whatever trauma, uh, a lot of things, your relationship with your parents, your okay, there's a lot of like skeletons people have in their closets, right? Like you hear stories of CEOs. Like there's this one CEO, I think he like I forgot his name. I forgot the company he own also, but like he goes on to he subscribed to a lot of like OnlyFans or some shit like that, and it's just okay. Everyone is like dealing with some shit like secretly by themselves. Everyone has skeletons in the closet. No one's perfect. Okay, no one's perfect. Not even me. Okay, if someone appears to be perfect, they're not. Okay, that's one thing I learned. And so if you can be honest about your skeletons, the skeletons in your closet, the stuff that you're trying to almost suppress or hide from other people, if you can be honest about that with other people, then other people will be honest about their skeletons, their insecurities, their traumas, their whatevers with you, which is how you get true friends. Like honestly, the most valuable, right? Okay, quality that uh you can find in a friend is just authenticity, right? It's nothing else. You guys don't even have to like the same things or agree on the same things. It's just this, okay? It's just being authentic, not just about uh the things you're trying to hide, but also authentically being giving criticism. Like if you're with a friend, a true friend, and like you do something that they think is a bit like not aligned with their beliefs, they will tell you, and but they wouldn't like force you to follow their advice. They would just tell you like, hey man, I think what you're doing here is wrong because not wrong, but like it's a bit, will lead to this other outcome that you may not desire because of blah 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 blah. And I think another very very important um value that, but I think this is more personal. Authenticity, I think that's quite important for anyone, but this is more personally. I value open mindedness. I can't spell. God damn it. Fuck's sake. Like being able to um kind of realize that if like being open minded is knowing that your perception of the world is limited, that like I mentioned before, like 99% of the times you're wrong, and that what you talk about, that is just my worldview. Like you talk about something, hey, I think that this, and I think that you should this, but hey, that's just what I think from my own experience. You don't have to 100% follow it, and like you don't force your belief onto someone else. And every time you get into a debate or argument, or honestly if you're open minded, it wouldn't really be a debate or argument, it'll just be a discussion. You are actually quite open to changing your belief system. And this is a very, very rare trait that uh that's why I don't have friends. I'm just joking. But like even I kind of struggle with this a lot. But yeah, I think this is also a really, really important trait for me personally. I find that it's a very important trait because my belief systems actually change a lot, cause like I'm constantly, not constantly, but I'm always like trying a lot of new things, kind of leaning into my edge, kind of living on the edge of my comfort zone. I try to a lot of I try my best to at least, and that means like my belief system changes a lot. Like I would have this belief, and then I'm gonna go, and then I'll try try this new thing, and I realize that, oh my god, this belief is completely wrong. And then if I had a friend that I connected with through this one belief that I now realize is wrong, I suddenly have this feeling that, oh my god, I can't be friends with them. And so the only way for me to, as of now, to kind of have a true friend is if they are open minded, if they're able to, we connected through this belief, but then we through this common belief, but I realize that this belief is wrong, and I can like be comfortable telling them, hey, I think this belief is not that accurate, and they'll be like, okay, like that's fair, and I understand, and that's like, they don't have to agree with me, by the way. They don't even have to change that belief that they had in common with me that I now think is false. They just have to not like freaking bash me up for it. And I think that is open mindedness. Okay. And having true friends is really, really important for keeping your sanity. So it's like, I think one of the things that I really have to work on right now to continue to keep my sanity. Cause it's just good. It's like a biological imperative, right? Having a community, feeling belonged, relationships, like not romantic, but just like relationships with people. Okay, it's it's like at the bottom of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? If I'm not wrong, it's imperative, and of course you guys will support each other, blah 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 blah, and seriously, like, if you have someone to vent to all the time, someone who can give you space, you're comfortable being 100% authentic with, like a lot of your problems, mental health related problems, that they will just be, they wouldn't, okay, not gone, but like they would like 90% like eradicated, right? Because like telling someone about your problem is like half the battle won for a lot of mental health problems, in my opinion. But yep, that's that. Also, this is just my opinion. Okay. Oh my god, I deleted the. Oh my. It's Microsoft Whiteboard is really freaking broken. Every once in a while, the undo button just stops working. But anyway, you know what I said, and so basically that's what I think about. Um, that's how I think you should keep or maintain your mental health for students, or not actually should, but like the suggestions I personally would recommend for you to maintain your mental health and recover, even if you are going through like some mental health problems right now. But like I said, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a therapist. I don't know that much about mental health problems. Granted, I haven't been through a lot of the mental health problems that most students go through, at least not to the extent that uh I feel a lot of students go through, and by a lot of students I mean like the guys that see on SG exams. So yeah, that's just my thoughts, my opinions. Hopefully they can help. You try some of these things and see if they work for you. If they don't work, stop doing them. If they do work, um I'm the best. No, I'm just joking. But if they do work, then I'm happy for you, and yeah, keep doing that. So yeah, that's about it. I hope you have a nice day. Goodbye.